So Ron DeSantis, who is Trump's new enemy, claimed that the United States backing Ukraine is not a important interest for the United States. Now, me personally, I'm currently a liberal. I'd say I'm center. I don't know if I'm center left or center right. I don't know what the fuck I am. But I was originally thinking of DeSantis as a very good replacement for Trump. I'm like, you know what? DeSantis is a lot more clean cut, more reasonable, a lot less chaotic, less drama. This seems like a presidential guy. Then he says this shit, which just turned me off from him completely. DeSantis says that America getting involved in Ukraine is not going to be a priority for him because it's a territorial dispute. Let's look at what Ron DeSantis had to say. Lord of mercy, bro.
Now to a big policy pivot from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that reflects a giant change in Republican priorities. DeSantis now says backing Ukraine is not a vital U.S. interest. Look at this. While the United States has many vital national interests, becoming further entangled in a territorial dispute between Ukraine and Russia is not one of them.
See, this is a conservative shit that I don't understand. Conservatives sit there and, like, not all, but a lot, are all about this isolationalist policy and all of this. Oh, let them sort it out, let them figure it out. We're tired of this. We don't want to fuck with it. A part of me feels like it's war weariness. But a nation like America's not war weary. Are we really? Let's think about it. There was no draft. Everyone that fought in Iraq and Afghanistan signed on the dotted line to go fight. There was no draft. I once saw a picture of a board in the Marines. I don't know where it was, but I saw a board and it said, "The United States Marine Corps is at war. The United States of America is at the mall." It's a facts. So for people to be sitting here acting like they're tired of America getting involved in this and involved in that, are you really? And it also speaks to the political naivete of a lot of people where you really believe that America can preserve its geopolitical dominance by just saying, well, that's on the other side of the world, so we're just gonna not get involved. We're gonna stop supplying aid to Ukraine and da 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 da. I do believe that it's wrong that all this money is being supplied to Ukraine, and yet, there are genuine issues in this country that need to be taken care of with the money that we've been sending to Ukraine. I believe that same level of interest and concern could be brought inward. But to sit there and say that Ukraine is not a vital war, the Ukraine war is not a vital interest to the United States is ridiculous, considering the fact that Ukraine is an ally of ours. Russia, let's just be honest, is an enemy of ours currently. Russia is invading Ukraine, a sovereign nation. At one point, Russia did have territory in Ukraine. But at one point, the United States, the Great Britain, the British Empire had territory in what would become the United States, which is the 13 colonies. Like how far are we gonna push this back? Like, we could literally see the same thing. Like, are we gonna let the Brits come over here and invade and take Boston and New York and South Carolina and shit? Like, because at one point we own this land, so now it's ours again. Like, no. Ukraine is a sovereign nation. We're allied to them, and it is in our best interest, not just geopolitically, but also just politically in general, to be able to say hey, look, if you sign on the dotted line with the United States of America, if you form an alliance with us, we will aid you in defending your nation. We may not put boots on the ground, but we'll give you tanks, we'll give you weapons, we'll give you training, whatever you need in order to effectively fight the enemy, we will provide. That, in my mind, is perfect right now. Could things boil over into boots on the ground in the future? I hope not. But this naive, childish, nasty mentality, I don't like that shit. Now, of course, the Democrats have become very war hawk-like, very hawkish. But the whole "we shouldn't be involved in Ukraine" is so naive. Y'all think America's dominance just comes from the fact that we're on the other side of the world and there's a big ocean between us and the old world and us and China and Japan and shit? You think that because there's some big ass gap of water that all of a sudden we're just safe from everything. Part of why we're so powerful is because we have our tentacles in everything. We're involved in everything. We affect everything. If some shit goes in a direction that we don't like, we get involved. We think that our dominance and power in this world comes from like conservatives say like God. You know, I'm sure God has blessed America in some way, but the idea that our global dominance stems strictly from some sort of, you know, abstract power, some sort of abstract source is just naive. Yes, the ridiculous wars we fought based off of nothing. The interference, the meddling, all of these things maintain America's geopolitical and economic dominance. There's no getting around this. And if you don't like that, maybe you should move to another country or sit back and let the people who understand how this works take the wheels, because this narrative of, oh, you know, Russia is justified because America tried to get Ukraine to sign da 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 da, and Russia said that if Ukraine ever joins NATO, it's going to be a problem. So what? Since when do we start making decisions based on what Russia wanted? Now, of course, we don't want to exacerbate global tensions, but still, like, this is a sovereign nation who has said, hey, look, we are sovereign. We do what we want to do. Putin don't tell us shit. He's not our daddy. If we say we want to sign with NATO and the United States, that's what we're going to do because we do what we want to do. If Putin says, I'm invading now, what are we supposed to do? Sit there and say, well, he did say he would invade if they sign that contract. Like, what are we talking about? This is how y'all moving, bro? That's how the conservatives and the Republicans are moving. Y'all are pro-Russia. Y'all are gonna prioritize Putin and Russia's political interests over America's? Really? 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 I'm sorry, but our political interests come first every time. Call me a jingoist if you want. Call me an extreme patriot if you want, but fuck it. America's interests come first, always, and it is in our best interest to keep Russia at bay. It is not in our best interest to entertain Russia or be buddy-buddy with Putin because he's got conservative values and he's a Christian and all this other punk-ass, lame-ass, weird shit that y'all come up with to justify why Putin is justified in his invasion, unjust invasion of Ukraine. What do we gain from Putin gaining land in Ukraine? Looking like a laughingstock to the entire world? What do we gain from that? Because that's basically the message we're sending. You can sign on the dotted line with America, but if Russia or China ever meddles with you, we're just going to leave you, we're going to hang you out to dry. That's the message y'all want to send? And then y'all, at the other side of your mouth, you want to stand up there at rallies and shit. America's the greatest and strongest country in the world. Is it really? Y'all sat there and let Russia swing its dick all over Ukraine, so clearly America can't be that strong. Pussy shit. Look, I'm not saying Biden's the GOAT. I'm not saying this nigga's the greatest to ever handle a geopolitical conflict, but this Desantis shit is crazy. It's crazy. And he's just pandering. There's literally clips of Desantis saying the opposite in the past. 5 years ago, he was talking some different shit. Let's go over to where he said like 5 years ago. We in the Congress have been urging the president, I've been, to provide arms to Ukraine. They want to fight their good fight. Bro, like when Trump was in office, or Obama, what year was this? What does it say? 2015? So like that's like before, was that like before or after Trump took? I'm sure Trump took office in 2016, right? Yeah, so they were. I guess he's talking about Obama. Yeah, like it is in our best interest as a nation to aid Ukraine. All this other shit about, you know, Putin got conservative values and he's a Christian and, you know, Russia made it very clear and and, you know, like, no. Ukraine is a sovereign nation. They're our ally. We have nothing to gain from leaving them high and dry right now besides avoiding World War III. But in defense of my argument, I will say this. If Russia threatens World War III, are we just going to lay off? What if China invades fucking Taiwan? We're just going to sit there and let that shit happen because they threatened World War III? This is a pivotal moment for us, and we can't have a president in there that's just fucking sucking Putin's dick. Like, we can't have a president that's over there letting other countries get the one up on America. Point blank, period. We can't have a president in there that's fucking over there making excuses for Putin because he thinks that's what his base wants. No. DeSantis, please don't do this, bro. Don't do this shit. Don't get up in there and start talking that pro-Putin shit. Don't do that, because being pro-Putin is being anti-America. Putin is concerned about Russia first. Y'all are supposed to be concerned about America first. And part of being the strongest nation in the world is being partially responsible for what goes on in other continents, especially Europe. That's like, there's no getting around that. I don't know what's going on, but the conservative base needs to chill with this shit because it makes absolutely zero sense. But we'll continue to see where this goes and see if DeSantis falls back from what he just said. Hopefully he does. I don't want someone in office that's going to go soft on Putin because that's just ridiculous. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.